I don't know if you're like me and you collect all your little bits of decoupage paper. I do. All the bits that I'm not going to use on anything, just in case they might come in handy. And what I want to do is I want to see if I can combine my decoupage paper with making some resin jewellery so I can add some value to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to combine this with a technique that I haven't actually used for quite a long time, several years. So people haven't seen this technique when I've been selling my jewellery for a long time, so it might also add some additional interest. Now, I'm sure you could probably do this with UV resin, but I think it's going to be easier to do it with one-to-one resin. I want this to have quite a glossy finish, so I'm going to be using the T-Expert Pure Glossy for this because it really does give an amazing glossy finish. And also, it will give me a little bit more time to work, and I haven't got to worry about the UV light penetrating through the paper. So firstly, I'm going to decide which bits I want where for the background. Now, this type of decoupage paper, you actually don't need to take the backing off. It works just fine like this. Where the napkin stuff, like this sort of stuff, and this, I want to take off the actual backing. And this is a 3-ply, so there'll be 2 plies worth of paper to take off. And you can just peel that back. Get a little bit there, like the edge, and then just peel that off nice and gently. There we go, and you're left with just that top layer. Now, I'm sure if you haven't got any decoupage paper, then you could easily use wallpaper or wrapping paper. And I've used wallpaper and wrapping paper lots of times in resin, and it works really well. I'm going to try and get a rough shape. And rather than cutting it, I'm tearing it because I really want these frayed ends as opposed to really sharp ends. Yeah, and I'm quite happy with that. I don't mind that it tucks up the sides and all this sort of malarkey. So I'm going to get all my bits ready, and then I'm going to mix up my resin. And then once that's dry, I can show you what the next stage is going to be. I've got all my pieces cut now and in there how I want them. They were really easy to cut out and to shape in those shapes. So now it's time to mix up my resin. It's a 1-to-1 resin, and I'm going to mix up 200 ml for this. Let's get our PPE on. Gloves and a mask. Always gloves and a mask. And turn on our extraction as well. Ooh, rip me glove. I've got all my resin mixed up now. And what I'm going to do is these one at a time. So I'm going to pour a little bit of resin on there, like that. Then I'm going to place my piece of paper back in there and push that right down, trying to dislodge any bubbles that might be there, that might be trapped underneath. Oh, I'm not too worried about that. And then I'm going to fill this just below the level of the mold, because when I demold these, I want them to have shrunk away and created that little lip that you can get. And I actually want that this time rather than not having it. There we go. Let's push that paper down a bit more. I want that nice and flat. And then I can leave that for a few minutes to release any bubbles. Once you've got your paper in, really you want to try and leave it alone as much as possible because it will soften the paper up. What you do want to make sure you do is push out as many bubbles from underneath it as you can while the paper is still firm, because that way you'll get a nicer result. I overfilled this one a little bit. I would have been better off just taking the paper out rather than trying to squidge it down like this. Fill that up a little bit more. And then I'll carry on and do the rest like that. I'm on my last one now here with the paper in, but the next technique I'm going to show you, you can also do with glitter, and you can also do with just clear. So I'm going to make some clear ones as well, so I can show you what they look like when they're finished. And I'll also make some glitter ones, and I'm using a red microfine glitter by Resiners. I love this glitter. There we go. So I'm going to leave these now for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to go over them with a long neck lighter. These have all had 5 minutes now. Quickly go over them and burn off any bubbles that have come to the top. Never use a torch on your molds, remember. It will just ruin them. At this point, I can tuck down any paper that's come too far up. There's a bit there, and that's probably lifted because there's a slight air bubble under it. So if I push those air bubbles out, then I can burn them off again. And then it shouldn't lift a second time. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cure this up a lot quicker using my Resiner's new curing box. Well, these have had their time now, and they should be lovely and cured. Now, I'm not going to put that away too far because I shall want to be using it again in a minute. And you'll see why. So what I'm going to do now is take these out of here. I don't need them to be in this mould any longer for what I'm going to do next. Look how pretty they are. Now, I want to make sure I get these all up the right way, because if not, I tend to mess it up and then do what I'm going to do next upside down. That one's come out lovely. I do love that. So what I'm going to do now is paint on them or use some stamps on them. And I love this effect. It makes it feel like it is handmade rather than being factory made. So this first one, I've got this little cat thing. And I'm going to pop that down. And if you don't get it right the first time, it doesn't really matter, because you can get that off with a tiny bit of alcohol. But that cat is literally just going to be sitting in the background there. I don't want that frame around it. I pushed a bit hard. And that was archival ink. That will take a bit of time to cure, but that's absolutely fine. But if you didn't want it on there, and let's take that off for a second, and you wanted more of a whiter picture on there, then I've got some white archival ink. Let's dry this. And then it would look like that. And I really like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off first. I'm going to leave that now to dry. And then once it's dry, I can show you how I'm going to finish it off. Now, for the other ones, you can use all sorts of things. So, for instance, we've got this. Let's go for this one. We've got this one here, which is an oval pendant. Now, I would like to have just a hand-painted flower in the middle there, with the stem coming off it. These are acrylic paint pens, and they will dry lovely. But again, if you don't like what you've done, you can always just wipe that off with a baby wipe. I didn't like that because, to me, that was too large. That was too large a nib. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to be using these Arteza acrylic paints that are really, I love these. I haven't used them for such a long time. I don't know why. And I'm going to draw an outline of a flower on here. And then I'm going to fill it in with some acrylic paint. Probably the same type of acrylic paint. So I've got the outline on there like that. And now I'm going to let that dry for a couple of minutes before I fill that in. And I think I'm going to fill it in with the electric plum colour, which is a purple, because I like that. If you can't be bothered to wait, I mean, what I will do is quite a few in one go and then let them dry. But I want to show you this. So that should be dry enough now for me to be able to do the next bit, which is using the Dreamy Lemon Yellow. And all I'm going to do is put a dot of that in the middle and then use this purple to fill that in with. This is so relaxing to do as well. So there we go. That's that one done. All I need to do now is put a stem on it and some leaves, which I'll do now. I'm going to put an orange stem on it. I don't know why. I just feel I want to, because the green is really green. I'm going to put a little orange stem on it and then a couple of little orange leaves. And now I'll leave that to dry. I'm going to go ahead. I'll do the rest. I've got stamps. I've got all sorts of things. And I've also got these neon colour set as well. I've never used them. They're brand new. Well, they're not brand new. I've had them a long, long time, but I've never used them. So I'll see how they go. I think they'd look good with this background. I'm not sure. So this next one, I'm going to be using this neon coloured ink or paint. And I'm going to put a dove in the middle of this one. And what I'm going to do is do a fluorescent dove. I'm going to give this a big shake because it's been settling for a long, long time. And squeeze a little bit of that out like that. And using a brush, I'm going to paint that on my stamp. And if this doesn't work, I can always wipe it off. It should work. And then stamp that on. Don't think that works very well. But what I have got is the outline of the dove there. So this stuff is a bit watery for this, I think. Yeah, I don't like that at all. So I'm not using that. So again, I can just clean it off. So I won't be using those inks. But what I do know that works well with these are the metallic pens by J Diction. I know that these work really well with it. So all I need to do is paint that on there like that. Make sure it's fully covered everywhere I want it. There we go, that is. Turn that upside down. Stamp that dove on there. And then you've got a nice dove. So there's several different techniques, and I'm going to use a variety of those to be able to finish off decorating these. Once I've finished decorating them, then I'll show you how I'm going to give them their final finish, making them ready to be sold. So now I've got those all dry, what I'm going to do is dome them up using a high viscosity UV resin. I'm leaving them in this curing box to cure them up with, because obviously this curing box also has a UV light with it, which is brilliant. Now, I'm not doming it up fully the first time, because when we poured these out of epoxy, what we did was we ensured that there was a lip left over because we didn't fully pour the mold, and that is all I'm filling in a little at the moment, and it will give a little bit of a lip. Then once I've cured this, I'll go over them and dome them again, and that way it will give me a really, really nice dome, and these will be lovely and protected. But it is really important to make sure that your paint and everything is fully dry before you go ahead and put your UV resin on it, because the last thing you want to do is it to bleed. You could do this doming with an epoxy resin, but it will take a lot longer to cure, and I love the way that the UV resin gives it a really nice glossy shine as well. Now we've got all those done, I'm quickly going to burn off any of the bubbles that may have come up. I think I've missed one there. I always seem to miss one. So let me just do that one quickly. There we go. Pop that lid on like that. Turn it on. Get it to UV resin. And I want that to cure for 3 minutes 15. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dome it up afterwards. And then I'll show you what they look like finished. Well, these are finished now. They're all domed up. Some I've put on pendants already. And I think they come out really lovely. I love the way that the napkin looks through that. It goes translucent in the resin, and then you have all you need and love on there. The same for the cat one. Look at that one. I mean, it really goes well against that napkin, which absolutely looks quite 3D once it's had the dome put on, and it's got quite a nice large dome on it. That one was a really simple one, just a few dots, but it's surprising how dots are very popular and people like them. And the same with the leopard skin one there. I mean, you have as much fun with them as you like. You're probably a lot more talented than I am at painting and things, so you can do whatever you want. You could put little scenes or anything on there, cottages and all sorts of things. But it is a great way of getting something that's different, and people really, really like them because they are unique and homemade, and they're really easy to do. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out the video I've got coming up next if you want to see what my current bestseller is. I couldn't believe how quickly it sold out. I can't keep up with demand. So check that video out. Boot the like button, hit the subscribe button, but most of all, enjoy your resin. Take care. Bye.